been impressing upon your heart to do? What are some of those things that God has been challenging you to do? What are those decisions that God has been telling you, you need to make this decision? But because you fear what people will say, you fear maybe you will become very unpopular, you decided to keep quiet. And even as you come into the church, and even when matters serving is concerned, what are some of those things? What are some of those areas God has been challenging you to step up? But you have kept quiet. You're doing nothing about them. You know, as you enter through the gates of NCOR, you know the way you look at things and you're wondering, Maze, why is this thing even looking like this? You know the right thing to do, but you're doing nothing about it. Maybe you have seen the ministry gaps here in church, and you know you have the ability, but you are doing nothing about it. If we all did nothing about anything, this country will crash. If we did nothing, this church will actually close its door, because everything is dependent on the people that God has equipped for his service. The second basin is the basin that Jesus had. The second basin is a Jesus basin, which represents embraced responsibilities. And Pastor Wiki took us through that and even demonstrated to us how Jesus just went through washing the feet of his disciples. Shortly before Pilate had called for a basin, Jesus had taken another basin and used it for far much more godly purpose. That is in John chapter 13 from verse 1 to 17. I didn't want to read that because Pastor Wiki really took time and took us through that scripture. Jesus said, I have given you an example to follow. Do as I have done to you. It is like Jesus was telling his disciples, I have given you a basin and a towel. Do as I have done to you. All the disciples of Jesus were given an example to follow. All the disciples of Christ were given a basin and a towel. But the question is, how much of Jesus' basin and towel